Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Patience. Yeah, just Patience. So I'm a first year nursing student at Vinh University in Vietnam, and I've studied for approximately 1 academic year now, and my experience has been bittersweet. I've loved some of my experiences, I've hated some of them. I've learned from most of it. I believe every experience is a chance to learn, so I'm not gonna complain, but I'm going to give advice. So I've talked to a lot of people that are planning to apply to colleges, not necessarily my own college, but colleges abroad, just everywhere, like anywhere in the world. And most of these colleges, they plan to live in the dormitory there. And some people are contemplating between living in a dormitory or just staying on their own in an apartment. So I'm going to be giving you guys, like, it's not like, if you're these 10 kinds of people, don't stay in the dorm. I'm just gonna say it like that. And these 10 people, these 10 habits, it's not necessarily bad, but if you have it, it is preferable. It's gonna be helpful for you and your potential roommates. So I would advise that if you have these 10 habits, or if you're one of these 10 kinds of people, don't think about staying in the dormitory except you're willing to change your habits or develop it. So let's start, and I'm going to be brutally honest. Okay, so before I actually start, just to mention that this things that I'm saying is not necessarily based on my own experience, but from what I've heard of from other people as well. So it's a combination of both, and so just try to like grab onto what you feel can be helpful for you. So the first people that I want to target is slow people. If you're slow, please don't live in a dormitory, because you're not going to be living alone. And the concept of a dorm is that you guys are going to be sharing things. You're going to be sharing the bathrooms, you're going to be sharing the wash the sink, you're going to be sharing a lot of things, and you guys are probably going to be operating at the same time. So if you're a slow person, and you know, when your fellow roommates wake up and you're still using the bathroom for like 1 hour more, not everyone is operating the same time zone or time slot as you, so you need to be fast. So if you're a slow person and you know you cannot change, you cannot be quicker, don't stay in the dorm, because you're going to be wasting not only your time but everyone else's time. So if you know you're a slow person and you just can't change it, you want to be slow, please do not get a dorm so it can be comfortable for you and your potential roommate. The second one is, if you are not accommodating, don't consider staying in the dorm. And what do I mean by accommodating? When you're living in a dorm, you cannot like evade it. You're gonna have to share some things. Like, you have to just be tolerable to some extent. You have to be able to like share stuff. And I'm not saying that, oh yeah, it's a must, you have to share personal stuff. No. What I'm saying is that there are some things that you guys have to just share with each other. You know, there are some things that is just like common use, like everybody uses it, so you have to be accommodating. Like, sometimes for me, like, there are some things that even if it's not mine, but like the dormitory has it, I feel like, oh, maybe I should be the only one entitled to it, and when other people use it, I'm like, ugh. But if you're the type of person that just can't take it, you're not accommodating, you're not welcoming to people sharing stuff with you, don't stay in the dorm. Because just like I said, the concept of a dormitory is to work with people, to live with people, to share stuff with people. So if you're not accommodating at all, please don't stay in the dormitory, for your own sanity and for everyone else's around you. And the third one is, if you're a type of person that values personal space, don't stay in the dorm. And if you don't get me wrong, if you value personal space, it is not a bad thing, but you have to consider that you're living with other people, and you guys will probably be like living in a very, like, maybe 2 beds in 1 room, so you're going to be seeing each other often. And this is mostly to introverts, because you want to be in your own space. You do not want people to just suddenly come in. And trust me, when you're living in dormitory, you're going to be seeing doors just open all of a sudden. Maybe you're trying to have this silent moment with yourself. So if you're a type of person that really values personal space and you're not open to just like disturbances, don't get a dorm, just get an apartment for yourself, because it won't be conducive for you at all, because you're going to be getting disturbed at every minute or so you cannot tell. So just, if you're the type of person that you just value your personal space, you can't do without your personal space, because you get really mad because I get that sometimes too, because sometimes I get really sad, I'm going through a depression and I want to just cry my eyes out, but I can't because I'm in a dorm. Because if anyone just comes in, oh, what's going on, and I don't want to share what's going on with anybody. But if you're the type that really values personal space for whatever you have going on, I would consider you not getting a dorm, or you're willing to just accept the fact that you're gonna get disturbed at any given moment. So the fourth one is actually really similar to the third one, which is like, if you're an introvert, look, I'm an ambivert, so I can be a mixture of an extrovert or an introvert, but to be honest, my personality test and everything proves that I'm more of an introvert, but I know how to manage myself. But if you're a full-blown introvert, that means you do not want to interact with others at all. Trust me, the dorm is not for you, because you're gonna get frustrated and probably move out before your contract ends. So if you're a full-blown introvert, you do not like talking to people at all, you're not accommodating, you do not even want to see people, don't stay in the dorm, because you're going to be seeing people a lot, and it would be very rude for you to just like wake up in the morning and you're not able to say good morning to your roommates. It's not by force, but I'm just saying, it's just etiquette, it's courtesy. But if you're a full-blown introvert, like you do not like human interaction at all, don't stay in the dorm, just get your own apartment for your sake. So that's kind of like integrated and as a close connection with the third one, which is if you crave personal space. So if you're an introvert, consider your options, and I would advise you to go get an apartment for yourself and just you. And then the fifth one, which is, okay, this is the most important. If you are dirty, don't stay in the dorm. I'm not even talking about, just consider or try to develop yourself. If you are dirty and you know for yourself that you find it hard to clean up after yourself, don't stay in the dorm, because it's not just because of you, but people are living with you, people are sharing stuff with you. You're not only putting your own health at stake, you're putting everyone's health at stake. You don't clean up after yourself, you're not ready to go do your cleaning chores, your cleaning routine. Don't stay in the dorm, because you're going to be affecting everyone. And I think the top reasons that most people ain't staying in the dorm in all colleges around the world is because their roommates is dirty. So if you're a dirty person, just stop. Don't go in the dormitory at all. Just get your own apartment and pay for people to start cleaning up after you. But I think it's a basic life skill to know how to clean up after yourself. So I would advise you, I'm not judging you, but if you know for yourself that you're dirty and you do not like clean up after yourself, and some people they don't really understand the concept of dirty. So look, I can, as a nursing student, sometimes, when I wake up and my class at 9, I wake up by 8 and I have to do a lot of things. I have to, maybe I haven't picked out my outfits the day before, so my room is a bit messy, right? The makeup is all scattered, everything is just messy. That's a different scenario, and you can get back after the class or after the party and you're really tired, you don't want to take care of it, so you just sleep like that. But the next day, girl, you should have enough energy to do at least some of it, because you're not the only one in the room, all right? But some people, they don't want to do that. They're gonna leave it for days. Some people leave the place there for days. Some people no. So if you're that kind of person, just don't do it. Don't, because it's gonna affect the rest of the people in your room. If you do not care about yourself but care about the what should I say? What's the word again? I'm trying to remember the word for care about the. Sorry, I'll try to remember, but because if those who take care of the dorms, the officials who go from dorm to dorm to see how you guys are taking care of your dorm, you're going to be affecting them, because if you're a clean person living with a dirty person, if they come and the room is dirty, because you're not going to be cleaning every time for dirty roomies, right? But if they come and they see that room dirty, they're going to think everyone in the room is dirty, and you're just affecting them. So if you're a dirty person, just Go get your own apartment and be dirty all by yourself. So for the sixth one, is the opposite of being dirty. If you are a neat freak. So when I tell you, like, there's a difference between being neat, being tidy, being, oh yeah, but if you're a neat freak, like, you cannot deal with a spot of dirtiness, don't even think of being in the dorm. Because like I told you, you're gonna be meeting dirty roommates, you're gonna be meeting messy roommates, and sometimes it just happens to be so that your dorm can be dirty, your dorm can be messy. But if you're a neat freak, that you freak out at the thought of the sink having just one spurk of like dirty stuff or one plate in the sink, you're gonna freak out. Don't be in the dorm, just be neat by yourself at the apartment. So I'm not blaming you for being a neat freak, but I'm just saying, just like I said before, you need to be accommodating, you need to be to tolerate people. So there's not how something's gonna happen that makes the room untidy sometimes. So but if you're a neat freak and you can undo just a speck of dirt, don't stay in the dorm, and I won't say more than that. And number 7, I cannot emphasize on this enough. If you are loud, don't stay in the dorm. If you like, this is such a pet peeve, like, for some people, because look, if you're loud, you're just affecting everyone around you, and I cannot, like, for me, like, I like blasting my music on full capacity. Like, if I'm home alone, I don't use my headphones, I just play it on the speaker, and I just like the freedom that comes with it. But I recognize that I'm in a dorm now, so I need to respect other people's quiet period, just respect them. So if you're a loud person, and when I'm talking about loud, I'm not just talking about you speaking loud or you play music loud, but like sometimes you have to do things in discreet. What I'm saying is that you wake up in the morning, you know that okay, maybe you have class by 6 a.m. or whatever, and some people have classes by 1 p.m. so they have the time to sleep. But you wake up at 6 a.m. and maybe you go to the kitchen and you start just, you know, the noise, you have to be discreet, right? But some people just don't have that etiquette. They just open it anyhow, let the noise just fill the atmosphere. That is really wrong. That's what I'm really talking about. And you're the type of person that you get on Zoom classes in like 10 p.m. while some people are getting ready to sleep because they have an early class tomorrow. You're having your class by 10 p.m. right? Okay, nobody's saying you shouldn't have classes, but then you put it on, you do not use your headphones. And sometimes I lose my headphones, and then I tell my roommates that, oh, I'm about to have a class or something like that, and if they're okay with the noise or whatever, am I disturbing you? Just if you're in that kind of situation, you can always ask. That's why communication is important. But like, you don't care, you just like do everything because you think you're the only one living in the dorm. Please don't live in the dorm if you're this kind of person. You have to be discreet whatever you're doing, because I cannot say it enough that not everyone is working at the same time slot or whatever time period you're in. While you're busy, some people are free, while some people are free, you're busy or whatever. So you have to understand people that are living in the same dorm as you. So if you're loud, you cannot be discreet, you do not know how to place a plate gently in the morning on the table without making a fuss or making an earthquake type of noise, don't live in the dorm, please. Go grab a bottle of water because I was being tense with what I was saying. So number 8, which is something that I'm personally struggling with, don't stay in the dorm. Don't consider staying in the dorm with other people if you have uncontrollable pet peeves. You know what pet peeves is, right? Like something that really annoys you, something small that really annoys you. For me, I have a lot of pet peeves. I hate when people snore. I will hate when people chew too loudly. I hate when people drink or gulp water too loudly. I hate when people whisper, like all this kind of whispering. I actually hate ASMRs with talking, with this whispering sound. It annoys me to the core. But if your pet peeves are uncontrollable, don't stay in the dorm, because you're going to be experiencing, like, your roommates are going to be having different kind of pet peeves. Your pet peeves that you can't, like, you just get annoyed with, but you have to tolerate it. So if you have uncontrollable pet peeves, like you can really bust out, you can really get angry when people like eat too loudly, when people gulp too loudly. I'll consider you don't stay in the dorm so you don't cause unnecessary fights and dramas. So I try to control this pet peeves that I have. I try to just accommodate people. Yeah, we're different kind of people. I might also have pet peeves that I do not know that pet peeves for them, you know, so the world doesn't revolve around me. But you need to understand that you're not the only one living in the dorm, so you have to have you have to control your pet peeves and make sure that you don't cause unnecessary drama, because you're going to be experiencing that a lot. And number 9, which is a very important skill that I think you should have like developed in you before coming into college in the first place, but it's okay if you do not have. But it's important for you to know that if you lack communication skills, good communication skills, don't even think about living in a dormitory, because just like I said, everything that I've listed from number 1 to number 8 is going to happen, right? And if it's gotten to a point where you can no longer take it, it's important for you to voice out your opinion, to voice out what's really causing you trouble, what's getting you annoyed, and you need to talk to your roommates, all right? But if you're not good at communicating, you're only going to cause drama. So one tip that I can give you is make sure that you talk to the person annoying you in the nicest way possible. Hey, so I noticed you were eating too loud. I noticed you were playing music in the morning. Can you try to reduce that for me? So just smile and say that and see their response. If they responded, oh, I'm so sorry, if they recognize and are willing to change, fine. If they didn't change, then you can talk to your other roommates, or maybe your roommates are not doing the cleaning stuff, your routine, and you feel fed up. You can just call them, you guys can have a group chat. Hey, I don't like what's going on, can we have a meeting? So you have to have great communication skills. And the reason I say this is because some people get angry to the point that whenever they need to, they may be right. That's one thing that you guys need to understand. You may be right, you're like what you're facing, you have every right to be angry or annoyed, but the way you brought it down, the way you talked about it, made it seem like you lack manners. So make sure that you have great communication skills so people can actually know where you're coming from, okay? So if you do not have that, or you've not really developed that skill, don't even consider going or living in a dormitory. And then the last one, which most people don't actually talk about a lot, is that if you are a talkative or you can't keep a secret, don't live in a dorm. And I'm gonna tell you the reason for this. I personally haven't come across this kind of situation for myself, but I know it will be happening in other rooms that have come to my attention, but I need to advise you guys with it. So if you're living in a dorm with other people, there's a chance that you get to listen to their life stories whenever they're calling their family members. You get to listen to them talking about their grades or whatever is going on with their personal life, whether their boyfriend cheated on them or maybe they just got into a romantic relationship. But yeah, you get to have the tea to yourself first class. But you do not know how to keep a secret, and then because you heard them say they were talking to their family on the phone, you were able to hear it because you're living it with them in the room, and then you tell other people, and when it escalates and then they start wondering, I never told anybody, and they start doubting their own best friend, whatever. But what I'm just saying is that when you're living in the dorm, you need to understand that you're going to have access to this top-notch information because you guys live in close proximity with each other, right? But make sure that you do not share with anybody. I hear a lot of things in my room. I don't, because my room is Vietnamese, but you're gonna hear a lot of things, but learn to keep quiet. Doesn't concern you. I know the tea may be really juicy, but learn not to share it with anyone you have no right to. So if you're a talkative and you can't do without sharing it with your best friend or whatever, or just share with whoever you want to share with, you don't know how to keep your mouth shut on the information that people share in the room. Don't stay in the dorm. And that's one thing I really want to talk about. So yeah, that's the 10 things, guys, and just like I said, it is based on what people have told me, what I've heard from other people's stories, and my own personal experiences. So if you have other advices that you can just put in the comments so people can read. But yeah, so if you know that you can manage all this, or maybe you are not this kind of people, then yeah, welcome to the dorm life. You're gonna hate it, you're gonna love it, but most of all, you're gonna learn from it. And peace out, and see you next time.